This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
You know what's great about your investment account with the big guys? It's actually a time machine. Log in and zoom. Welcome back to 1999. It's time for an upgrade. At Public.com, you can invest in almost everything. Stocks, bonds, options, and more. You could even put your cash to work at an industry-leading 4.1% APY. Leave your clunky, outdated platform behind at Public.com. Go to Public.com and fund your account in 5 minutes or less. Paid for by Public Investing, Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Full disclosures at Public.com/disclosures.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely. And parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/iHeart.
Let your imagination take flight with an AI-powered PC from Lenovo. Whether it's creating digital art, designing new software, or building a portfolio for a future career, our PCs are powered by Intel Core Ultra processors to help students unlock smarter learning and unleash their creativity. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. All you have to do is choose the one that fits your passion. Head to Lenovo.com to shop AI PCs and find your perfect companion. Plus, get 5% off when you create an education account.
We got your shot to win tickets to Summer of Loud 2025, Friday, July 11th at Somerset Amphitheater. See performances from Beartooth, I Prevail, Parkway Drive, and more. Head over to our contest page to see how you can win today. That's KFAN.com, keyword contest.
The password is vice, was the word I was looking for. Everybody's got to have a vice. Especially if you're a plumber. Because when you're like wrenching on, that wasn't that funny. I'm going to send that to rewrite and have them punch it up is what I'm going to do. Time now for 534 on the fan.
Time now for 5 questions. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Question number 1.
It's now time to take an in-depth look at the welfare of the wolves.
Today, the NBA Board of Governors is set to vote on approving a deal that will transfer ownership of the teams from Glenn Taylor to a group led by entrepreneur Mark Lowry and former baseball star Alex Rodriguez. The Board of Governors' approval is likely today, with the closing of the sale coming in the days after that. The board's approval would mean at least 23 of the 30 owners have given their okay. Common, what is your confidence level in Lowry and A-Rod as owners moving forward?
Well, if they keep their hands out of the cookie jar, it might be okay. Hopefully the cookie jar has plenty of dough in it. I am going to hold Lowry to this. If you'll remember, in defending why he should have the team, he goes, I'm flush with cash right now. In other words, I'm not afraid to spend over the, I'm not afraid to pay the luxury tax. So it's easy to say when you're throwing everything but the kitchen sink into the conversation to try to assure people that you're the owner. Look at it. Because if you remember, I think Glenn was even kind of hinting at that, or maybe others were that, well, I don't know if these guys have the money, to really to put together a team, because that luxury tax, if you go over the salary cap, it's all sorts of issues. You can do it, but you have to pay a luxury tax, and then there are punishments. There are drawbacks to it as far as continuing to build your team. There's roster implications and such like that. But he said he's flush with cash, so I expect him to go over, if needed, to field a team. Hopefully they don't pull a Polat and cut salary. Instead what they do is they will increase it. But we'll see. It remains to be seen. But I think they both do want to win. I think we've talked about this over the past couple of weeks, just talking about some of the other teams that have been sold. There's what team just got sold? It was
Tampa Bay, LA Lakers.
LA Lakers. So other teams, and I think those new ownership groups have every intention of trying to win, but it remains to be seen.
Question number 2. It's time now for the lowdown in Dinkytown.
Roman Voss, the top-ranked football player in the state of Minnesota in the 2026 recruiting class, announced yesterday that he has picked the Gophers over Alabama as his college destination. The commitment of Voss, a 4-star recruit, marks the third consecutive year that Coach P.J. Fleck has kept the top-ranked Minnesota player in Minnesota. Common, your thoughts?
Do you think he meant to say he's selecting Alabama over Minnesota and just got tongue-tied? Because you don't hear those words very often. I think it's a good thing. Keeping the top recruit from your home state is wonderful. That's on one hand. On the other, is it going to lead to anything as far as wins and losses, right? Teams in it, as we know, they're in the Big 18. And the Big 18 is deep. It's loaded. I mean, from top, well, maybe not to the bottom, but you have perennial powerhouses, the Ohio State and the school up north. Oregon's about as good as it. Did they win the national championship? I don't even recall who won the national. No, didn't they get beat by Notre Dame? I don't remember anymore. No. I can barely remember what I shot. It was 83. So it's loaded. And then, UCLA and USC, I don't know how good they are anymore. Penn State, Michigan, Iowa and Wisconsin are always good. So you're in a real tough conference. And I don't know if keeping the top recruit from Minnesota each year is going to be enough to move the needle, but it sure can't hurt, right? I mean, it's like we talked about with basketball. We rarely do it with basketball. Just doesn't happen very often where the top-rated basketball player in the state of Minnesota sticks around. We've had a few, but it's really hasn't resulted in anything. So, but yeah, that's a feather in PJ's hat, that's for sure.
Question number 3.
Go Vikings, let's win this game. You'll hear us yell for more.
It's now time to take an in-depth look at the state of the skull.
Pro Football Focus put together their NFL receiving core rankings for 2025. They have the Philadelphia Eagles ranked number 1, Tampa Bay number 2, Bengals at 3, your Lions at 4, the 49ers at 5, and the Minnesota Vikings at number 6. They wrote, Minnesota claimed the 4th highest team PFF receiving grade in 2024, 82.1. Justin Jefferson's resume speaks for itself at this point. He has logged 5 straight seasons with an 88.0 plus PFF receiving grades and 2.40 yards per route run. Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and Aaron Jones all recorded PFF receiving grades above 70 in 2024. And the Vikings also added Ty Felton, Rondale Moore, and Jordan Mason to the mix for 2025. Common, do you agree with the Vikings being ranked number 6th in receiving cores? So what they include in the receiving core is not only the wide receivers, but the tight end or even running backs who catch the ball. So
yeah. I shouldn't admit this working at the All Sports station, but I think most people know I don't know enough about the receiving cores of all the other teams in the league to make a real forthright and educated opinion. But I do like what we have to offer. I like Hawkinson. You and I have talked about him. He's a sturdy tight end. I don't see a lot of yak that I can recall, which is okay. But I like a guy who can break a tackle or two, and I'm not saying he can't, but it seems like usually it's the catch and go down. Jefferson's brilliant. I think Addison has showed signs, especially when he had to be. Wasn't there that? Didn't JJ miss like 6 6, 7, 8 weeks. And Addison became the number one, and he was pretty good. I mean, I think that benefited him to be, hey, you're now by default the number one wide receiver. The other teams start gaming for you, scheming for you, and I think he did a nice job. Speedy, I think's all right, and I do think Josh Oliver is a little bit underrated as a pass catcher. Our running backs out of the backfield, I guess I'll take their word for it. So, yeah, I mean, there are. I'm sure there are teams that would they're green with envy when they look at our receiving core or our pass catching players. But I'm not sure. Would you say that's about the right spot? I mean, you're a fantasy football guy.
Well, it's even harder. Like when I first read the headline, I just thought receiving core. I just thought they're wide receiver groups. But when you start including tight ends and you start including running backs, which is that's why the Eagles are number one, right? Like I don't think the combination of A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert is necessarily better than the Vikings combination of J.J., Addison, and T.J. Hawkinson. But when you throw in Saquon Barkley, who might be the best receiving running back in football, that's a little bit of a difference maker. So when you start including all of that, it's hard to exactly figure out the puzzle. But the Vikings are probably in the neighborhood they should be in.
All right, very good.
Question number 3.
I'm going to say something controversial.
That's interesting.
It's time now for the controversial question of the day.
Common, would you rather attempt a layup for $1 million or a three-pointer for $1 billion?
Did you come up with this on your own, or did you find it?
I think I saw it on TikTok.
Okay. What did Marnie say? You take the quiet million?
The quiet million over
I'll take the quiet million.
over the loud 250 million?
Yeah. I'll take the quiet million. I think I would. At this stage of my life, I think $1 million would really help the old nest egg. If I was younger, I'd go ahead and do that. I'm just I'm really good at most everything I do. Hold on. I'm really bad at shooting a basketball. I'm worse at shooting a basketball than I am right now hitting an iron, which is bad. So I think I'd probably take the layup, and of course I'd probably blow it. But I think I'd take that. What would you take? Would you try?
Obviously the math says you got to go with the billion.
Yeah,
so
right.
If you want to go with math and analytics and sabermetrics, like there's no doubt the favorable move long term is to go for the billion. And I think I probably actually would. As you mentioned, like the layup is not 100% gimme. I guess I would compare it to like a extra point. Well, I can't even say in today's NFL, I don't know if it's be the same as the extra point, but like the old extra point where you can miss an extra point occasionally. Yeah. Like it's not a gimme, especially under that pressure of $1 million.
That's it. I'd probably short arm it.
So, but it is risky to also go for a 3, knowing it's pretty unlikely you're going to hit that thing, knowing you just gave up $1 million. But the $1 million, as nice as that is, probably can't retire off of it, right? I still have to work. Whereas $1 billion, I can almost buy the Minnesota Twins. I'm setting up generational money for future.
Like I say, from where I am in my life, I'm sundown. You better beware. Don't be creeping around my back stair. I don't know.
I'm going for the bill.
It's just so controversial.
And I'll probably airball it.
That was the controversial question of the day. I've got another one for you on the other side of the break.
And that's it for today's edition of 5 Questions. Well, actually 3 questions, but 5 sounds like more than 4.
Before answering the question, I'm going to say my answer is a resounding no. I'll be curious to see what yours is. It's controversial question of the day, number 2, other side of the break. Common Man program on The Fan.
The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give a shout to win bonus bucks with our National Cash Contest. Enter the keyword grand at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. That keyword is grand. Enter now at KFAN.com.
You know what's great about your investment account with the big guys? It's actually a time machine. Log in and zoom. Welcome back to 1999. It's time for an upgrade. At Public.com, you can invest in almost everything. Stocks, bonds, options, and more. You could even put your cash to work at an industry-leading 4.1% APY. Leave your clunky, outdated platform behind at Public.com. Go to Public.com and fund your account in 5 minutes or less. Paid for by Public Investing Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Full disclosures at Public.com/disclosures.
Unlock smarter learning with Lenovo AI-powered PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors. Head to Lenovo.com and choose from multiple devices to fit your passions. If you're a gamer, you can spend less time stressing about GPUs and CPUs and more time dominating with your AI-enabled Smart Engine, which optimizes your game performance in real time. Or maybe you're a scientist on the verge of a groundbreaking discovery and need a device with a longer battery life and AI-enhanced tools to give you extra time to finish your research. Or you're a musician preparing for your biggest break and need better, faster AI tools to make digital art a breeze, like creating band posters and t-shirt designs. Or you're a soon-to-be graduate needing to catch a recruiter's eye to land that dream job, so you need cutting-edge smart tools to build your portfolio from scratch. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Plus, college students and teachers get 5% off with an education account on Lenovo.com. A better future is waiting, and it needs you.
Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/iHeart. Greenlight.com/iHeart.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
The Fan.
Elevate your fourth this year with $100 to Fireworks Forever. Check out our contest page for your chance to win a $100 Fireworks Forever gift card to stock out for the 4th. That's KFAN.com. Keyword contest to enter today.
I actually have 2 additional controversial questions of the day.
Okay. Do we need the open for it?
No,
okay.
No, that's okay. But I do have 2 of them. The first one would be, would you rather shoot a 3-pointer for $1 billion or have Rudy Gobert shoot a layup for you for $1 million?
I'll take the 3.
I take the 3.
Yeah.
Controversy.
I always love that one.
Here's my other one for you, Tennessee. Elon Musk's electric vehicle maker debuted autonomous trips in Austin on Sunday. They call it Robo taxi.
Yeah.
Would you climb into a driverless vehicle and take a ride? Well, now, I was going to say JG wouldn't take a Robo taxi to the airport because he has parking at Minneapolis-St. Paul International. He wouldn't need to. Would you get inside a Robo taxi? I wouldn't. Absolutely not. Wouldn't even consider it. I'm sorry. I don't trust.
I would need to research it a little bit to see how safe they are, but I would probably say yes.
You would, huh?
Yeah. They're probably safer than humans driving.
Well, in the video shared widely online, one Tesla robotaxi was spotted traveling the wrong way down a road. And another one was shown braking hard in the middle of traffic, responding to stationary police vehicles outside its driving path, among several other examples. A spokesperson for the NHTSA, that's the National Highway. What does that stand? National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Thank you very much. Said in an email, the agency is aware of the referenced incidents and is in contact with the manufacturer to gather additional information. The federal safety regulator says it doesn't pre-approve new technologies or vehicle systems. Instead, automakers certify that each vehicle model they make meets federal motor vehicle safety standards. The agency says it will investigate incidents involving potential safety defects and take necessary actions to protect road safety after assessing a wide variety of reports and information. But it says they don't pre-approve new technologies or vehicle systems. Instead, automakers certify that each vehicle model they make meets federal motor vehicle safety standards. In other words, you're taking the manufacturer at their word. Oh, yeah, it works great. Climb on in. No, it's great. Meets all the standards. Okay, I guess I got to take your word for it. Don't you think they should test them first?
I think they probably have to a certain extent.
It says they don't. It says the federal safety regulator says it does not pre-approve new technologies or vehicle systems. Doesn't do it. Doesn't pre-approve them. They just take the word of the auto manufacturer. It's safe and sound. Climb on in. You know what, again, I know technology is, would you trust a pilotless aircraft? Let's say you were going to go, if you had the means and the wherewithal and you wanted to go to Hawaii.
There's a spider hanging down on this glass between the two of us.
Yeah, I know.
Do you see that in the middle of sorry, go ahead.
Are you an anacrophobe? Are you afraid of spiders? Okay.
I'm the one responsible for ending all their lives in our house.
Yeah, and we went over that. I can't believe you kill spiders.
It's just crawling down.
I cannot believe you kill a spider. How sad.
I'm going to go in there and kill that one.
No,
during the commercial break.
No, I like them here.
It's an itsy bitsy spider is what it is.
He is. He's hanging out.
Would I trust a pilotless airplane?
Yeah.
As of this very moment on June 24th, 2025, no. But I am open to trusting it moving forward. I don't think I'm going to just go the rest of my life I'm never going to go in one of those Robo cabs. I'm never going to go on a pilotless. And frankly, I'd see, how many people like my age have like a grandpa and grandma that are still driving and on the road. And you're like, man, they probably shouldn't be on the road driving. Would love to have a situation where I think it's probably safer for them to have a.
Well, I'm not going to hail a cab with my grandpa driving, No,
I mean, eventually, you're going to own your own car that is self-driving, right? I mean, I'm talking about a cab.
No, I'm not.
When you're 90 years old and you don't have the faculties to drive?
I'm a Skip Barber Racing School graduate. I don't need a self-driving car.
At this moment, you don't. Father Time is undefeated.
Can I use that? Wait, no, hold on. Can you say that again?
Father Time is undefeated. Wouldn't you like the ability to still be able to get around when you're at an older age?
I'll call Deuce or baby brother Peter.
Exactly, and you're going to inconvenience them.
Doing a favor for your father, your mother's an inconvenience.
Well, when it becomes like a daily, it'll be a little inconvenient for him. Yeah.
How do you know I'm going to go anywhere daily?
I'm speaking in generalities. I'm not specifically talking about you and your life. You don't think there's a lot of people on the road that you go, man, they probably shouldn't be on the road?
A lot of people shouldn't be out on the road.
Right. So and that makes it safer for you.
I don't trust RoboCab. This one was driving down the wrong lane.
I would trust a RoboCab more than I would trust a 90-year-old on the road at this moment.
Oh, so now you think 90-year-olds aren't safe? Not every 90-year-old has trouble driving.
I'm speaking generalities.
I'm speaking generalities.
There are exceptions to the rule.
You go ahead and climb in RoboCab all you want. Go ahead. Knock yourself out and be driving.
I'm guessing at some point in my life I will.
Really?
Yes.
When was the last time you took a cab?
Well, I mean, you're taking Ubers and stuff.
When was the last time you took an Uber?
I'm sure it's happened in the last couple of years.
You don't count then because you don't travel that way. I think it's nuts.
Or we went on vacation to the Bahamas a couple years ago. We had a shuttle take us from, like a shuttle van driver take us to our hotel from the airport.
NHTSA previously initiated an investigation into possible safety defects with Tesla's FSD supervised technology, or FSD beta systems, following injurious and fatal accidents. The probe is ongoing. Oh, so they've had some fatal accidents, you say? I thought I read one of these stories. This doesn't make any sense to me. I've got to find this story. I thought it said there's someone that works for the taxi cab company that rides along with you. Why is he in the car? Couldn't he just drive then? I mean, why would it just... Here's this. The Tesla Robo taxis in Austin are Model Y SUVs equipped with the company's latest FSD unsupervised software and hardware. The Pilot Robo taxi service, involving fewer than 24 vehicles, operates during daylight hours and only in good weather, with a human safety supervisor in the front passenger seat. Why is he even... Then what's the sense? Let human passenger... And then think of all the Uber people, Lyft people, and taxi cab drivers you're putting on the unemployment lines. I'm calling for the abolishment of robo-taxis. We'll break. We'll come back. Controversial Vikings news on the side of the break on the Fan.
You know what's great about your investment account with the big guys? It's actually a time machine. Log in and zoom. Welcome back to 1999. It's time for an upgrade. At Public.com, you can invest in almost everything. Stocks, bonds, options, and more. You could even put your cash to work at an industry-leading 4.1% APY. Leave your clunky, outdated platform behind at Public.com. Go to Public.com and fund your account in 5 minutes or less. Paid for by Public Investing Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Full disclosures at Public.com/disclosures.
Are you shopping for a new laptop while still trying to keep up with technology and AI? Talk about feeling burnt out, but no more. Lenovo.com makes it easier than ever to find the perfect PC. In fact, we'll break it down for you. Step 1. Shop our lineup of AI PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors. Because why deal with downloading new software when you can buy a smarter PC that already comes with all of the AI features and tools? Step 2. Find the one that fits your passion. Whether you're a creative genius, a research scientist, a hardcore gamer, or a future CEO, no dream is too big. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. You can keep up with your ideas as well as any challenges you may face. Step 3. Add to cart and purchase. Oh, if you're a college student or a teacher, make an education account through us and get 5% off your whole order. Shop now at Lenovo.com. A better future is waiting, and it needs you.
Hey, everybody. So when you get asked, what is Odoo, what comes to mind? Well, I'll tell you, Odoo is a bit of everything. Odoo is a suite of business management software that some people say is like fertilizer because of the way it promotes growth. But, some people also say that Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable.
Ooh. But then again, you could look at Odoo in terms of how its individual software programs are a lot like building blocks. Whatever your business needs, manufacturing, accounting, HR programs, you can build a custom software suite that's perfect for your company. So what is Odoo? Well, Odoo is a bit of everything. Odoo is a fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. Yeah, that's it.
Which means that Odoo is exactly what every business needs. Learn more and sign up now at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Hi, I'm Cindy Crawford, and I'm the founder of Meaningful Beauty. Well, I don't know about you, but I never liked being told, oh, wow, you look so good for your age. Why even bother saying that? Why don't you just say you look great at any age, every age? That's what Meaningful Beauty is all about. We create products that make you feel confident in your skin at the age you are now.
Meaningful Beauty. Beautiful skin at every age. Learn more at meaningfulbeauty.com.
Thanks to friends at Unreal, you can restock your wardrobe with Unreal Golf Apparel this year, just like Common. Register to win up to $1,000 in Unreal golf apparel on our contest page. One lucky winner will restock their closet with amazing golf apparel thanks to Unreal. That's KFAN.com. Keyword contest. Enter today.
So somebody actually typed this on their phone and then sent it via the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line. I'm not making this up. This is what it says. In the United States alone, on average, 116 people die in car accidents and cars driven by humans every day. The odd self-driving car accident gets the attention, but they are far safer than human drivers. Now, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How many cars do you think are driven by human beings every day across this country?
How many?
Yeah.
Oh.
Can't even count, right?
Millions?
Yeah. Millions and millions. Hundreds?
Hundreds of millions?
And there's like 12 autopiloted cars in the country. I mean, come on. You get a comparison like that. It might be the most preposterous thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I have an example for you. This courtesy of the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text says, Common, Matt from Bismarck here. My wife and I went to Scottsdale in May, the same trip we saw the Rockies win a game. We took a Waymo to the game. Waymos are a driverless car, and they are everywhere down there. It was wonderful. Picked us up, dropped us off perfectly, an absolute joy. You could pick the music, control the windows. Wonderful. The next day, we got another one to go to a friend's house. It dropped us off about 3 miles from our friend's house and drove away. We had to call an Uber to get us to our friend's house. We were standing in a random residential neighborhood with a cooler full of beer, just hoping the cops weren't going to be called before the Uber arrived. Love the Grum. So there you go. Dropped him off at a rando house. So teach his own. Whatever you'd like to do, I'll stay away. And of course, I am a Skip Barber.
I will stay away for now. But I think the kinks will get worked out.
Yeah, but then when will those kinks get worked out? Day, week, month, year, 10 years? Knock yourself out. You sent me this. It's well documented now. Adam Schefter tweeted out after hearing on the Pat McAfee show that Aaron Rodgers said, quote, he's pretty sure this is it. That's the quote. Pretty sure this is it. End of the quote. The last season of his NFL career, Rodgers said it is why he signed a 1-year deal in Pittsburgh. Pretty sure this is it.
I know.
But not completely sure because with many athletes, you can really never say never. And I don't blame him. I mean, no one would hold him to it, right? I mean, if he said this is it for me, he had a brilliant year and he was able to turn back the clock and actually beat Father Time for a year, why wouldn't he want to come back? We've discussed this before, tend to be in there are many walks of life where you can retire and then come back if you want, right? You could be a certified public accountant and you could retire and then decide, you know what? I want to go back to being a CPA, and you would still have all the skills required, right? As an athlete,
you could be like a television broadcaster on a news station where you do the sports.
Yes.
And you can make a big deal about your retirement and throw a bunch of parties, but then you're still working just as much as you were before.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you can do. That I couldn't have said that any better. Do we know anybody like that's ever done that? I'm not sure. But as an athlete, I mean, and if you're not too far removed from retirement, you can come back again, right? And if you were a basketball player and you retired at 33, I suppose you could give it a shot at 38. But the older you get in sports is your whole life just sports. Once you retire, you're done. So he's 41, is that correct? I think he's 41 years old. So at 41, man, there ain't, even at the position of quarterback where you're protected pretty well, with all the rules for roughing the passer, and such like that. It's not like back in the olden days where you could get clotheslined back there, right? So you can extend your career some. Still, there comes a time where you're just too old. It's not working anymore. So once you make that decision to step away, it's hard to come back, particularly because a lot of times physically you just can't. So, and he says that's why he signed a 1-year deal. Well, maybe he signed a 1-year deal because what if it doesn't work in Pittsburgh and somebody else wants it?
Yeah, you could.
In other words, maybe the soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings. Oh my gosh! Though even if McCarthy had a mediocre season, I don't think they would give up on him. But you're keeping your options open.
If JJ has a bad year, and the Vikings are in that window ahead, it'd be nice to have a bridge quarterback that we could win now with, but then we could also draft and develop a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers might be that guy next year.
Yes,
I do find it amusing. Like people online though today have run with it as if Rodgers is his final season. He didn't say that definitively.
No, he
won't say it definitively. He'll go all year without saying it definitively, because he'll like everyone talking about him.
Yes, and also
every single road team media he talks to all year long is going to ask him about it.
And in addition to that, he might. I'm going to actually give him a pat on the back. He's saying it because maybe he doesn't really know. He's pretty sure it's it, but like I say, if he's brilliant, has a great season, still having fun, wants to keep playing. But yeah, for those that say he is, he's completely out. I think
he might have also had just like an epiphany this summer of, I'm not as desired as a quarterback as I once was in this league, right? I didn't have too many suitors coming after me. I'm not making the same amount of money as the top quarterbacks in the league anymore. And he allegedly got married, so maybe it's time to settle down.
Yeah, that was quiet, wasn't it? Almost too quiet, but apparently he did get married. There was another story I saw that I thought raised some interesting issues, going back to the Twins. Again, Bobby Nightingale, Fish Wrap Factory West Side beat writer. Headline says, Twins president Derek Falvey remains confident in roster despite June swoon. He writes, as poorly as the Twins have played throughout the last 3 weeks, entering Monday in 4th place in the American League Central Division and 2.5 games out of a playoff spot. That was on Monday. Team president Derek Falvey said he isn't entertaining thoughts of becoming a seller at the July 31 trade deadline. He says, when you have the team you believe you have and you hope you get guys back here soon, you feel like this group, and we've seen it this season, is capable of putting together good baseball. It's hard for you to think like that. If we have to cross that bridge, we'll cross that bridge later. But that is not at all our focus right now. It's to figure out how to get this team right back to where it needs to be. And that would be the response, I guess, you would expect, particularly when you're trying to sell tickets, trying to have eyes on the television sets watching the game. And then, you do send a, I don't even know if this matters, but you do send a fairly negative message to the locker room, right, to the dugout, if you're saying, phone rings, we'll answer it. Fire sale? Absolutely. We'd love to restock with some prospects. And then you get players that are going, oh, I see how it is. But, and again, my response to that would be, well, if you would have played better and didn't dog it for all these, play as badly as you did, we wouldn't be having this discussion about, do you think when trade deadline comes around, we'll be sellers rather than buyers? I just, there's, there's too many teams that seem like they're just so much better off than the Twins. And again, like you had said earlier, that could change, because they did have that 13-game winning streak. Was that trend a mirage? Let's say that they could do that. But the Tigers don't seem to be like a mirage. That's a really good baseball team. And the Yankees are good, even though they've struggled as of recently. I think the Guardians are pretty good. Hell, the Seattle club's good compared. I mean, we're the 4th worst team in the American League, and I just don't see any type of I'm sorry. And again, I know we had the text message, we're only 2 games out of a wild card spot. What are you talking about? It's just a vibe, I guess I get. I'm underselling the everyday roster. Falvey likes it. And most of the guys that are on this roster right now were on the team last year. That was brilliant maybe not brilliant, but was very good for a good portion of the season until the very end when they collapsed. So I guess you could make that argument. But if the phone rings, I would certainly listen to it. Did I see too where St. Thomas now they have cleared? Are they now Division I absolutely positive?
I mean, they were before. They just weren't eligible to. They couldn't play in postseason tournaments. So
right.
Neither the hockey or basketball team could play in the NCAA tournaments. Now they officially can.
Okay.
So expect to see that St. Thomas basketball team. They're going to have a new arena this upcoming season as well. New facility for both their hockey and basketball team, right on campus.
I think somebody sent me a screenshot via an email this morning where John Krasinski said something to the effect, "Big dance, here we come soon."
Yeah.
Did Krasinski go to school there? Is that what his
He's a Tommy.
Oh, I see.
He's a former Tommy.
I see.
And
I see. I get it.
I think Tower is one of the best coaches in the state.
Wait, hold on.
I think John Tower is not only one of the best basketball coaches in all of the country, but one of the just best coaches in general in this state. Tommies will be going to the big dance year after year after year. And the hockey team's going to be one of the favorites in the Frozen Four every year.
Did you see the CBS Sports story? Is there anything to this? Or has this already been out there and I just missed it? Knicks coaching search. Timberwolves assistant Micah Nori interviewing for the vacancies. One of 3 candidates. The New York Knickerbockers are formally interviewing Minnesota Timberwolves assistant Micah Nori for the team's head coaching vacancy. That's according to Shams. Nori is one of 3 candidates for the job who have been interviewed alongside former head coaches Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins. Nori's been an NBA assistant since the 2009 season, first with Toronto, later serving on staffs for the Sacramento Kings, Denver Nuggets, and Detroit Pistons. Prior to his 2021 arrival in Minnesota, Nori played baseball at Indiana before moving into coaching, first with the Hoosiers baseball team in 2005 as their hitting coach. Maybe he could just go right across the street and give his 2 cents.
We could double duty out of him.
Why not?
Yeah. Maybe he could be the Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson of coaching.
Maybe the Twins should be interviewing him right now. Don't let him leave the state until you get a chance to talk to him. I want to skip that. Thank you. Where the hell did my story go? Where was I in the story? Oh, it's just spinning around and around in circles. Will it go around in circles? Before sending to the position with the Raptors, I guess, is as far as it goes. He was always, when they do that after halftime interview going into the second half, where someone with Fox Sports North or whatever it's called now does the quick letter, he would do that oftentimes. Yeah. And I think I know that didn't Finch miss a handful of games because he got his torn, his knee got shattered?
In the playoffs, he had to sit behind the bench. Yeah.
And so Nori was the coach there, and I think there was a couple of did Finch ever get tossed from a game? I think maybe this year was his first year. I thought I read he got tossed late in the season. I think that was the only time he ever did. So he's got some head coaching experience, and he seems to know his stuff. But that remains.
I was wondering if a guy like Nori was going to be the Knicks have kind of now set themselves up where they have to go after a guy like Nori that's never been a head coach before. When you've requested to talk to like 4 or 5 current head coaches. And so you've now anyone after that, after you've made those requests, you're now just acknowledging, you were not in our top 5 on our list. So it would take a guy like Nori that, hey, I just want to be a head coach somewhere.
Yes.
I understand the situation. Please give me a shot.
Well, and especially when you go, if let's say you are a former head coach, current head coach, whatever, and you go, Nick's calling, you go, so the last head coach got you to the finals in the conference for the first time in 25 years and you fired him?
Yes.
Okay, I might just pass on that job. Because, I mean, where do you go from there? I guess other than to the finals itself. But, yeah, I don't know. And I saw this football story, Tennessee. 5-star QB Ryder Lyons commits to BYU as the program's highest-rated pledge in modern recruiting era. BYU made another splash in the recruiting trail Tuesday with the addition of 5-star quarterback Ryder Lyons, who chose the Cougars over a litany of heavyweight offers from programs like Oregon, USC, and Ole Miss. He's the first 5-star commit to BYU since 24/7 Sports started rating prospects in 2010. He's the highest-rated recruit to make his pledge to the Cougars in the modern era. Taking in all of that context, Lyons' commitment to BYU registers a 10 out of 10 in the commitment impact score. I didn't know they had a commitment impact score. Somebody's tallying it. I don't know what the formula is for that. But I would, and it was nice that, because, and the reason I bring this up is did BYU, were they in the NCAA 16-team tournament this past year? Didn't they get invited or
I think it was at 12.
Was it just 12?
Yeah.
I thought they were in, maybe, again, no, they couldn't have been. But for BYU, who I don't really think is, they won the national championship. We talked about this back in 1986 or 87, I think it was, back when they didn't have a tournament where they would just, the sports writers would vote, and they gave the Brigham Young Cougars, they gave them the national championship. But I don't know if traditionally they're a football school. I know they have a decent program, but, and I know we just got the top recruit here in the state of Minnesota to sign with us, which is nice. I'd like to get a top 5-star quarterback recruit here sometimes. And I guess we're working on it. Maybe someday that'll happen. And last year we got, Brosmer. And he was pretty good. He didn't have, when you look at the list of.
BYU was not in it.
Not in it.
We're thinking of maybe SMU?
No, maybe I was thinking of.
Or Boise State?
I don't know what I was thinking of. Maybe I was thinking of Penn State. They both have blue uniforms and white helmets. That's all I know. But I wish we could get a 5-star quarterback recruit. But, our day will come, as we like to say. Then one last thing on the text message. It's a preposterous statement tournament nominee. At 12:22 today, PA was asking his guest Chris Hine about Ant's controversial pre-draft statements about his interest in basketball. PA asked Hine if he thought that hurt his draft status.
Huh? You've got to be kidding me.
Didn't Edwards go number 1 overall?
He went number 1 overall, yes. We selected him.
I don't think it hurt his draft status. So PA with a PST, and you can't have a PST, preposterous statement without PA included. I don't think so.
I just started watching, and I know I'm way behind this. This is probably like 6 to 8 months old. Whenever everyone else is watching, but there's like a Netflix kind of documentary on the USA basketball team and the gold medal, and just following them through last year. So I literally watched the first episode last night. Ant is just an interesting. he's an interesting dude, man. Like he was like former President Barack Obama comes up to him and starts talking to him. And
he didn't know who he was?
Not that, but just like he doesn't treat him like this is like the guy who was president, right? He was like, Barack's just trying to give him crap. He's like, I'm the truth, man. I'm the truth. Like he's just talking to him like he's one of his buddies from back home. And then the other part was that I found interesting was Steve Kerr, who's the head coach, was having like a one-on-one conversation with Anthony. It's like, man, you've got everything, man. Like you've taken a big step from where you were a year ago to where you are now. And he starts talking about, you watch how LeBron practices and you watch how Steph Curry practices. Like that's it for you. Like all the little boring stuff is the stuff you need to work on. Like that's to take the next level.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of an interesting comment from Steve Kerr.
Well, I like
just got to work on the boring little stuff.
I like that Ant didn't, do the
idolizing and pedestalizing.
Yeah, because I know that if you've become the president of the United States, it's a hell of an accomplishment. If you're, a great basketball player, if you're a high-profile, flamboyant criminal defense attorney, if you have a very well-known name, you're a great guitar player. Well, so doesn't mean I have to treat you any differently than. Second time I'll reference guy running the jackhammer on 494. Why should I treat Barack Obama any differently than I treat the guy that runs the jackhammer out on 494? He just chose to run for president and he won. We're happy for him. The only person I treat with any idolization and pedestalization just walked into the room and sat down behind you, tend to be. It's the legendary Mark Rosen, and he joins us next here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
And here we have a specimen from the early 2000s, a legacy investing platform. Please don't touch the exhibit, folks. It could crash.
Ready to step out of the financial history museum? At Public.com, you can invest in almost everything. Stocks, bonds, options, and more. You could even put your cash to work at an industry-leading 4.1% APY. Leave your clunky, outdated platform behind. Go to Public.com and fund your account in 5 minutes or less. Paid for by Public Investing Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Full disclosures at Public.com/disclosures.
Want to feel more creative but don't have the right laptop? Lenovo.com can help. Look through our legendary lineup of AI-powered PCs and devices and find the one that fits your passion. Our PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, as well as cutting-edge AI tools, allow students to focus, learn, and create with ease. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Plus, college students and teachers can get 5% off their order. Shop now on Lenovo.com. The future's waiting, and it needs you.
Some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com. ODOO.com.
Saks Off 5th, up to 70% off every day. Summer is in full swing here at Saks Off 5th with so many exciting trends to try. From matching sets and floral dresses to wide leg jeans and chic accessories, find all of this season's must-have styles. Plus, shop new designer arrivals weekly. Find Gucci, Valentino Garavani, Versace, Stuart Weitzman, and more. Head to SaksOff5th.com or a Saks Off 5th store near you for up to 70% off every day.